The Chicago Sky teammates of Angel Reese, Ariel Atkins, Rachel Banham, Courtney Vandersloot, three ladies which were targeted in that hit piece that Angel Reese slid underneath the table. Yeah, they responded. Not only did they respond, but the Chicago Sky responded as well.
Did Angel Reese just become the Chicago Sky's biggest problem instead of their supposed franchise player? Think about it. She's suspended for technical fouls, missing games with a so-called back injury, and then publicly throwing teammates like Courtney Vandersloot, Hailey Van Lith, and Rachel Banham under the bus. Meanwhile, the Sky actually play better without her. So, why is Reese demanding trades and roster overhauls when her own turnovers lead the league despite missing weeks? What happened next? Her teammates pushed back, the front office punished her, and the Sky actually found life without her. Is this the end of Reese? Let us know down in the comments below if you think the Sky should fire Reese. Let's go! What happens when your supposed franchise star openly insults her teammates in the middle of the season? That's exactly what Angel Reese did. And it wasn't some vague criticism about needing to be better. She went straight for the jugular. In a Chicago Tribune feature, she snapped, "I'm not settling for the same we did this year." And then she doubled down by pointing at the very people in her own locker room, questioning whether Rachel Banham or Hailey Van Lith were even good enough to be part of a playoff team. That kind of statement doesn't just rattle fans. It cuts right through the unspoken locker room code. You don't trash your teammates in the media. We can't rely on Courtney to come back at that age that she's at. Reese said, "I know she'll be a great asset for us, but we can't rely on that. We need someone probably a little younger with some experience. Somebody who's been playing the game and is willing to compete for a championship and has done it before." Courtney Vandersloot, by the way, two-time WNBA champion, five-time All-Star, two-time All-WNBA first team, left the New York Liberty, a championship-caliber team, to come help out the Chicago. Oh damn. Oh damn. Oh dang. Oh damn. It's all right, Courtney. It's all right. The ripple effect was immediate. Courtney Vandersloot, a veteran who's been carrying Chicago basketball for years, suddenly found herself portrayed as too old to help. Never mind that she's still producing, still setting the table, still one of the smartest floor generals the league has seen. Instead, her own teammate dismissed her like she was a busted trade card sitting in a box. And the irony, the Sky front office literally reshaped their roster around Reese last offseason, trading away the number 3 overall pick Sonia Citroen for Ariel Atkins. That wasn't a small gamble. That was the organization saying, "We're all in on building this thing around Angel." But instead of unity, it only magnified the tension. You could tell it's just some turmoil going on in Chicago right now. And it'd kind of bring up the question like what is going to happen with Angel Reese at this point? I think she's done playing. Now, picture this from the perspective of Ariel Atkins. She's brand new, a respected player brought in to push the Sky upward. And what does she walk into? A situation where the franchise cornerstone is practically treating the roster like pieces on a fantasy draft board, saying they're not good enough. Atkins handled it with class, publicly defending her teammates and stressing collective improvement. Reese's tone couldn't have been more different. "We need better players." The contrast tells you everything. One player focused on unity, the other on upgrading everyone but herself. In the beginning of the season, you was missing mad layups. You was shooting like 27% on layups. What? No. I saw Ariel Atkins at the podium holding you down. I didn't see none of your teammates going in the media blasting your ass for not being able to make a damn layup. We haven't seen none of your teammates come out and flame you for how you was missing layups back to back to back to back to back. You had like 8 straight games where these dudes won hundreds of thousands of dollars betting that you would miss your first shot. None of your teammates came out and embarrassed you publicly. They held you down and supported you. And that's the wildest part. Reese wasn't just criticizing from a position of dominance. She was piling up turnovers like candy at Halloween, getting suspended for technical fouls, and disappearing for weeks with a back injury. Everyone in that gym could see her flaws, but only she seemed blind to them. To the team, it was like watching a player complain about the paint job on a car while forgetting she's the one driving it straight into a ditch. I would be highly surprised if Angel Reese is on the Chicago Sky roster come the start of the 2026 or the 2027 season. The Chicago Sky, they might be saying to themselves, Angel Reese just isn't worth the headache that she is causing. Great rebounder. As for everything else, She's not worth the headache that she's causing. The result, instead of rallying the locker room, she isolated herself. The more she aired frustration with her teammates, the more those teammates realized she wasn't standing with them. She was standing apart, pointing fingers. And once that line was crossed, there was no repairing it. The Sky didn't see an inspiring leader in Ree. They saw someone tearing them down from the inside. From words alone, the cracks were obvious. But when her actual play entered the picture, things spiraled even further. What happens when your own teammates stop protecting you and start speaking their truth? That's when you know the locker room has reached a breaking point. Angel Reese's comments to the media weren't just forgotten lines in an article. They lit a fire straight through the Chicago Sky locker room. And suddenly players who once stood by her didn't feel so eager to stay quiet anymore. Well, it goes to show if you're going to go at a legend, you better not miss. As we know, Angel Reese's come out this week. She absolutely crushed her own teammates into the dust. And she even decided to go after a legend, the legendary Courtney Vanderloot, who of course blew out her ACL at the beginning of the season, and she is in the midst of making a comeback. And of course, Angel Ree made some comments that were none too kind to a legend. The mess started with Ree taking public shots at her teammates. Instead of talking about her own turnovers or her growing list of technical fouls, she questioned the value of veterans and role players, singling out Courtney Vanderloot, and even calling out the production of Haley Vanleth and Rachel Banham. To fans, those comments sounded arrogant. Inside the team, they sounded divisive. Players understood that every word would circle back to them, whether they wanted to be in the spotlight or not. Ariel Atkins found herself in a tough spot. She was brought in during the offseason in a trade the Sky made largely to support Ree, not create friction. Atkins tried to hold the line by defending her teammates, offering calm words instead of lashing out. But you could tell it wasn't easy. Nobody wants to walk into a new team only to find day-to-day life dominated by drama created by someone else's ego. Atkins should have been focusing on basketball. Instead, she was cleaning up a mess. It says here Tyler Marsh called it a top-down organizational decision, declined to share which comments were viewed as detrimental. Atkins implied the team supported the decision. Ownership handled it how they see fit. She told the Sun Times a shooter on Friday, "They have full support from our team."